All right. Well, welcome to Rebel. My name is Samantha Finglass, and today I'm joined by two very special guests. I have Miss America Madison Marsh and Miss America's Teen Hanley House with me today. So thank y'all for making the trip all the way out to Texas.
Of course, it's been so fun so far.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
We are thrilled to have you both. So a lot of our Rebel family is more in the cheer and dance space, so they may not be as familiar with the Miss America organization. So can you just kind of give me a quick, rundown on what is the organization and what does it stand for today?
So one of the big parts about Miss America is the scholarship aspect. So it's one of the biggest women's scholarship donors. I've gotten $70,000 from competing.
I've gotten $75,000 from competing.
And then we also focus a lot on leadership. And so for me this year as Miss America, not only do I get to be Miss America, but I also get to go serve in my community, serve in the Air Force, and get to have a nonprofit. And so those are the types of things that the Miss America opportunity looks for, looking towards those women to build our own futures, to really invest in the communities around us at, all the way from local up to national levels. So it's been amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've both earned these really time-honored titles. So what does it mean to you specifically to hold that title and get to represent the Miss America organization?
I've only been in the Miss America opportunity or been a part of the opportunity for 1 year now. And that just really goes to show how life-changing it really is. The scholarship funds that I've earned will make a lasting impact on mine and my family's lives, which we're so thankful for. But I've also learned so much about myself throughout the whole process. And so I found a love for serving my community. And, I really want to leave the legacy of being a servant leader and just sharing my plans and sharing my, my favorite parts about this opportunity with the nation.
I've also only been a part of the organization for about a year now.
Yeah.
So being able to come from Colorado at the Air Force Academy and then getting into pageants, specifically the Miss America opportunity, has also been really life-changing because I never really would have imagined, stepping into the role of being Miss America this year and having the community that we have. We've got sisters in all states. We have tons of formal title holders that are always there for us. And so getting to have that family-like environment and that sisterhood, especially when we're on the road, has been so important, and just it's been amazing so far.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit more about that sisterhood aspect. You both have only been in the organization for a short time, but you both have mentioned it. So how does that happen in an environment that you're in, and how have you found those sisters across the country?
Yes. So being part of the Miss North Carolina organization, I was able to make 42 friends there, and then go to Miss America's Teen, where I was able to have 50 other sisters. And we spend the whole week with these amazing young women, and I've been able to learn about them, learn about their states, learn about what's important to them. And it's just been really cool to kind of see the different ways that everybody goes about things, but also be able to have a strong connection. So like Madison said, when we're traveling to Dallas, when we're traveling to other parts of the nation, we have sisters and we have friends.
An incredible community you all are a part of. What would you say is the biggest misconception people may have of you when they first are meeting you?
So I'm the very first active duty military member to be Miss America. And so I think a lot of times whenever I'm in my Miss America uniform, people wouldn't really recognize that as someone who's in the military. But it's been really awesome getting to break that stereotype, because now a lot of people, whenever I introduce myself and I say I'm Miss America, they say, "Oh my gosh, you're the Air Force girl." And it's been really cool now, not only getting to have that, but also wearing the uniform and seeing people from the military recognizing that, and getting to have both of these sides that have been seemingly almost contradictory in their roles, but now getting to play both of them at once to show that you can be very feminine and still a powerful leader all at once. So,
and you're still active duty. So how do you balance being active duty and being Miss America?
The Air Force has been really amazing. And so my leaders are the people that have made it work, because from the moment that I had won, we had people all the way up from my chain of command to like the highest people in the Air Force. Like so many people trying to work on this to ensure that I could do something that I was passionate about, but also aligned with the mission for the Air Force and for our nation. And so while I'm on the road, I do recruiting for the Air Force. I talk a lot about, the experiences and the opportunities that they gave me, because without them, I never probably would have started competing in pageants. I never would have gotten to go to Harvard. And so there's all these things that they have given me and their family that they've given me that I'm very proud to get to wear the uniform and get to serve our nation. So
Well, so you both mentioned you started in this, the Miss America organization more recently, and your backgrounds, yours is in dance, yours has been in, more STEM fields than off
Mm.
to the Air Force Academy. So did you grow up dreaming about being Miss America or Miss America's Teen, or, kind of what led to your decision to start with the organization?
I actually had no intentions of ever becoming Miss America or Miss America's Teen. I've always thought such highly of the Miss America organization. Even as a little girl watching Miss America on TV, I never once in a million years would have imagined that that would be me one day.
Mhm.
But as a competitive dancer, since I was 3 years old, I never had a way that I could be involved with my school. I never played a
Mhm.
sport. I never had a specific way that I could truly just be involved in school other than a million clubs that I'm involved in at school. And so I went out for um, my high school title, Miss Cleveland High School,
Mhm.
and I lost my pageant.
Okay.
And so I call it my Michael Jordan story.
Perfect.
I call it my Michael Jordan story. But, I had a bunch of friends that were like, actually, my assistant principal was like, you know what? I see something in you. I want you to come and participate in or compete for Miss Cleveland's Teen, which is a
Mhm.
local prelim to Miss North Carolina, because my assistant principal happened to be a local director.
Okay.
And so I won Miss Cleveland's Teen in January. I had 6 months to compete for Miss North Carolina's Teen. Then I won that. I had 6 months to prepare for Miss America's Teen, and I was able to win that. But throughout my whole entire mindset of competing for Miss America's Teen, I was not supposed to be here. I was supposed to be Miss Cleveland High School. And so it's just crazy how God works. And
Mhm.
so the power of prayer is real. I always say that because, I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for that and, trusting in the plan that He had for me.
Yeah. Well, and look at you now. I mean, we're thrilled to have you here, but obviously you're proof that you can do anything if you set your mind to it. So even though this wasn't necessarily something that you either set out to from a young age,
Mm.
once you were on stage competing, what was your favorite portion of the pageant?
Mm. I really love interview and on stage question because that's an opportunity for me to get to share like my story and my mom's story.
Yeah.
So I lost my mom to pancreatic cancer
Mhm.
about 5 years ago when she was only 41 years old. And getting to have a place on stage that I can share her life, share her love, share what we're doing at the Whitney Marsh Foundation to try to help the patients that didn't get the type of help that my mom did.
Mhm.
That's my favorite part because they really do give women a national place to get to speak about the things that they care about, and especially pancreatic cancer for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
For
So
sure.
how old were you when you started that foundation?
I was 17 years old.
Okay.
So
Wow.
we started it about 2 weeks after my mom passed. So we're
Okay.
on we just finished our 5th year going into our 6th year right now.
Wow.
So
That's
yeah,
incredible.
we've gotten to expand a lot this year. So it's been a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
What has been your favorite part of the Miss America experience that's helped you kind of propel the mission of your foundation?
I think those first couple of weeks on the job, getting to go on national television like Good Morning America, Fox, CNN, all of the big wigs, and being able to talk about my foundation. We had a lot of people reaching out to us saying, similar stories, or the amount of families that I've gotten to meet that have said, my family is going through the same thing right now. Like,
Mhm.
thank you for trying to give us a voice.
Yeah.
That's what means the most because there were a lot of times when my mom didn't get to have a voice and doesn't get to have a voice now.
Right.
So if I can be that voice of reason and trying to get people to make the right decisions, to give the correct amount of money and research
Mhm.
and make those strides to the people that truly need it right now and are being denied that access, that's the whole point of me having this job.
Yeah.
So,
That's incredible.
well, thank you.
And then you have your own foundation, Passion for Profits, correct?
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that and how that all started?
Yes. So when I was around 10 years old, I was auditioning and being accepted into a lot of respected ballet schools across the nation. And of course, like any extracurricular activity, this was monetary, this
Mhm.
cost extra money. And so I just wanted a way that I could help out. If I wanted to pursue my dreams, I would have to kind of take matters into my own hands and help out a little bit. So I created a small business that actually gave me so much more than just that monetary aspect. Throughout the process of being a small business owner and young entrepreneur, I was able to learn so many real world skills, such as, financial management, community reinvestment, things like that have now pushed me to want to help young entrepreneurs and small business owners and build their real world skills, because today in schools we're not really taught those type of things that are really important. By the time we get to college, it's important to know how to manage our money,
Right.
and those type of things. And I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for my mom, being able to help me as a financial manager herself,
Okay.
but also everybody that's helped me along the way, of course.
Yeah. So, I mean, you both were very young when you were doing really incredible things. If one of our listeners is tuning in and it kind of hears both of your stories, what would be your best piece of advice for someone that either sees a change that they want to make in the world, or, a business they want to start? What's your best piece of advice for them?
I would always say ask for help. There is a world of knowledge out there and plenty of people that are passionate to help you, like ourselves. And I think the biggest thing that I've done as soon as I started my nonprofit, and even now, it is a whole learning process. If you stop the learning, you're not going to continue growing.
Yeah.
And so every single time that I have an opportunity to pick someone's brain about like, okay, how did you fix this problem that I'm running into in my nonprofit? Or how did you even start? And I can begin to learn from them. That's what helps you grow. That's what makes things work. That's what makes them beautiful, so you can be able to pour your passions into other places. So always ask for help, always ask people that are willing to share. So
For sure. I would say my biggest piece of advice would be that a reminder that we can only control ourselves. We can't really control how everything else goes, but we can always control how we treat people, how hard we work, how much we want something. And so I think that that's something that has helped me along the way, because being a small business owner, a young entrepreneur, things go wrong all the time. And being so young as I was, I always needed that reminder that I can only control what I do.
Yeah. So you're doing all of these things in the little free time that either of you have. What are your favorite hobbies? I know you're a huge bookworm, but kind of what all, if you have any free time, where can we find you? What would you be doing?
Okay, I'll go first. So one thing I love doing is I'm from North Carolina, of course, but we love playing outside. Like I've grown up playing, tossing the football with my dad in the yard. We have a pond behind our house, going fishing, just those type of things. But my favorite has been playing pickleball. Recently, we love playing pickleball in my driveway. It's just so fun. And the weather has been so nice. I hope it stays that way. But that's just something fun I've always loved. And it's a great way to spend time with my family because, growing up in the dance studio, I don't have a lot of extra time.
Yeah. Pickleball is taking over the country right now.
Oh,
It's
I love
crazy. It's so fun.
It needs to be like a competitive sport, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or maybe it is.
I've seen
Do
a
we
little
know?
bit at like country clubs or like on college campuses.
Yes.
It's picking up for sure.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
yeah. And then what about you?
So if I'm not reading, I love to be in the gym. That's
Okay.
like my place that I like to be. I don't know.
Yeah.
Helps me clear my head, turn off the phone, makes
Right.
me feel better. I don't know, helps me sleep at night.
Yeah.
So
Well, so because we do know you're a big reader, what is one book that changed your life and really got you into reading?
I love fantasy like Harry Potter.
Okay.
So I actually read it for the first time this past year.
Oh my
And I'd also
goodness.
never seen the movies before.
Wow.
So it was a lot of fun getting to read those. But I guess a couple of books that I think are amazing just for like self-help.
yeah.
One of them is called The Mindset of Happiness, something like
Okay.
that, by Dr. Carol Dweck. I know that's her name. I'm like forgetting the title right now, but it's all about how mindset affects your life, whether it be you having a growth mindset and not, blaming your problems on things, but instead looking on ways that you can get better the next time around, or if you're going to have a fixed mindset. And how that bleeds into the way that you do your finances, the way that you're a leader, the way that you parent, the way you are in the workspace. I mean, all of those two mindsets affect the way that you live your life every single day.
Yeah.
And so I made sure before going into Miss America that I was going to do like 10 pages of a self-help book every night, because I knew that mindset was going to be everything for me. And after I'd read that book, I was like, wow, this is something I need to like reread every single year, because it was that good. And I think that life-changing to really help me improve myself, moving forward as an adult.
Man, I gotta go order a coffee
It's
of that
really
as soon as I
good.
get home. So you were reading and you in parts of your preparation for Miss America. What was your mindset going into that competition?
I think the biggest thing that I changed that I did not have my eyes on the crown. Like winning was not something that I was really focusing on. It was all about things that I could control. Because I think you can win a title but lose the experience. And I've definitely done that before. And I wanted to make sure that I was going to win the experience by being able to make friends, relaxing, having fun the entire week, because what the judges thought about me, what the audience thought about me is completely out of my control. And I knew what I could control was going in positive, going in being able to attain things that I knew were in my control. And I think that had made my entire experience knowing that even if I don't win, even if I don't place, I'm walking away with what I wanted to walk away with. And it made me so much more relaxed the entire week.
I would have to say the same exact thing. And also, the thought of even having the crown or having the title one day, honestly, I never thought that was possible for me, because I honestly thought that you would have to be in it your whole entire life. You'd have to be working towards this since you were a little girl. But I haven't been taught how to speak a certain way or stand a certain way or walk a certain way. And so I think that is something that really helped me. It's not looking towards the crown, but enjoying the experience. And then also remembering that piece of advice that I can only control what I do. Like Madison said, everything else is out of our hands.
Well, and I think that's so applicable to our rebel family that may be more in that cheer and dance space, because it's the same thing. It's you can only do so much on the mat or on the floor, and it's up to the judges. So I really love that, notion of go after the experience and just enjoy what you can. And then if it comes back that win, that's fantastic. And now you get even newer experiences. But if not, there's so much value in just going through, these big competitions in a pageant like Miss America. So knowing that you did win, though, and you didn't just get that experience, you've got this one. What has been your favorite part of being Miss America or Miss America's teen?
I love the people that we get to meet. Some of my favorite things that I get to are going to go speak to schools. Specifically, every time I go in, they always have these big posters of like the American flag or like an Air Force symbol. And I love that I'm getting to expose our next generation to the military and the value of serving our nation and putting on that uniform, because when you serve, it goes so much more than just about yourself. You are serving selflessly for other people, protecting the freedom. And the fact that I can go into these schools and I can see how patriotic they're being and how interested they are in learning about my job is just, it's really wonderful, because I think sometimes we don't get to see that widespread. And especially if I can introduce some new kids that don't come from a military city, then it's been amazing.
Yeah.
I would have to agree with that as well. The relationships that we are making are like another life-changing aspect of the job. Being Miss America's teen and being so young, I'm only 17 years old, making these relationships that are hopefully going to help me as I get older are going to be really great as well. I have a lot of big dreams and plans. And so I hope that I can keep making those relationships that are going to help me as I get older, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so Madison, I do want to talk about your military service, because I know some people listening may not have envisioned themselves eventually going into a career in the military, but you're a great example of you totally can do it all. You can be Miss America. So why did you pursue a career in the military, and then why Air Force specifically?
So I had this like 30-year long plan of becoming an astronaut.
Fantastic.
And it started, I don't know, like maybe 10 years ago now. And one of the parts of it was becoming a fighter pilot or a test pilot. And I knew the best place to do that was from the United States Air Force Academy out in Colorado Springs. It's a 4-year undergraduate degree where you end up with a bachelor's in science. They have so many different majors. You get to jump out of planes, fly planes, and it's all for free. I got paid to go to school. And it was one of the best places to get a pilot slot out of in the military. And so that's where I ended up. Now I don't want to be an astronaut anymore, but I stayed because of the types of things that they had offered me. I got to get a bachelor in physics. And so being able to major in physics had opened up a lot of doors, like interning and researching with NASA. at the age of like 18.
Wow.
And I think that was something that opened up a lot of doors. And then getting the Truman Scholarship because of the preparation that the Air Force Academy had given me. And then their connections to ensure that I could get a full ride to Harvard. And all of those things combined with the family aspect that you get. I mean, it's an experience like no other. And I would recommend it to all of the people that do want to serve, because it definitely takes, you have to have a purpose of being there because it's tough and the military is hard. So you have to have your heart in it. And now that I have people I get to serve alongside, my fiance's in the services with me, I've got tons of best friends. I know I can rely on people from all around the nation. It's been such an amazing experience, and I'm very grateful for my Air Force family.
Yeah. So, and now, and you mentioned this, you've moved on, you're continuing your education at Harvard and the Kennedy School. So what are you planning to do once you finish up there?
So I have to go back and I'll serve in a more conventional Air Force job. So my very first Air Force assignment was being a student, which was really awesome.
Right.
So I was active duty at Harvard studying public policy, having to take a pause for a year to do Miss America. And then I'll go back, finish my degree, and then I have like a more conventional Air Force job that I'll serve in for, I believe, at least 6 years. But I'm very open to seeing. Obviously, they've given me so much at the very beginning of my career. I can't imagine what more we could get to do together after this. And so I'm very open-minded. My heart is open. The Air Force has given so much. So I'm looking forward to getting to go serve.
Yeah. And when you're back in that role, in a more traditional role, will you get to be a pilot at that point? Or do you know what you'll be doing yet?
So I don't know yet.
Okay.
I was given a pilot slot, but we're trying to make some good family choices for me and my fiance right now. So we'll see.
Yeah. Because you flew a plane for the first time at 15,
Yes.
correct? And then your first solo flight at 16?
Uh-huh.
Wow. What was that like at such a young age?
It was a lot of fun. So it took a little bit of convincing
Okay.
from my parents.
Yeah.
But my instructor was a retired F-16 pilot named J.D. Williams.
Okay.
And as soon as my mom got to meet him and saw how dedicated and serious he was to keeping me safe and also teaching me all of the right things before I went to the Air Force Academy, that was really crucial because military pilot training is very intense. And he wanted to make sure that every time we were doing these protocols, he was having me do them the military way, the way that he was taught. And so I always felt very safe with him. It's so much fun. That's like it. I can't wait to go back next year. I really want to use my Miss America scholarship money to go back to do more ground training and air training next year for another license, because when you're up there, nobody can text you. It's just you and the plane and the sky.
Yeah.
And getting to fly over cool places, see the sunsets. I'm from Arkansas, so I got to fly over my own house a lot.
Oh, wow.
And I'd see my big white dog running around in the backyard and getting to see my family and flying over my high school. So, I mean, I love it. I really do love it. And I hope I can get back into it next year.
Yeah. Well, so you've talked about flying, talked about military, Miss America, reading. You do so many things, and you're really an embodiment that women and girls can do anything that they set their minds to. So what's your advice for a young girl that's looking at you and thinks, I want to do so many things and I don't know how to handle it?
I would say the first thing that I've run into is people trying to limit you or tell you no because they want to box you into things. And that would have been the worst decision for me. Letting other people make choices for me. My mom has always said, like from a very young age, I've always kind of gone to the beat of my own drum. I make my own schedule. I'm the only person that can say no to me at the end of the day because I know myself the best. And so if there's something that you set your heart on and people are trying to limit you, I just always step away from that because I know I'm not trying to prove them wrong. I'm trying to prove myself right because I know that I have the confidence and the capability to achieve the dreams that I want. And so does every other young woman. So you have to be able to step back and really look at the plan that you have for your life and being able to make step-by-step goals, kind of like what I did for the astronaut career.
Yeah.
And being able to follow along that and just knowing that at the end of the day, you know yourself best and you're the only person that can deny you of the abilities to achieve what you want.
Absolutely. So as someone who's young and has lots of things to look forward to, I know you're interested in studying architecture and design. What led to that inspiration? You've had this entrepreneurship. Why not just a traditional business route?
Yes. So when I was little, this is actually a funny story. When I was little, I would always, like any other girl, I would play with Barbie dolls and American Girl dolls. And I had, of course, like the Barbie dream house. But instead of playing with the Barbie dolls, I loved designing the houses of the Barbies.
Fun.
For the Barbies.
Yeah.
So that was my thing. And ever since then, I have watched HGTV shows. And then I became a small business owner and young entrepreneur. And I put the two together and I was like, I want to be a business owner of an interior designer, like architecture business, and have my own HGTV show.
There you
So
go.
hopefully that is something that I can achieve one day. Hopefully that, like I said, the relationships that I can make as Miss America's teen are gonna help me with that. But I also know that the skills that I've learned and been able to receive throughout the Miss America opportunity, for example, like interview skills and all of just the life skills I've been able to learn will help me with achieving that dream for sure.
So how did dancing competitively at a national level help prepare you for the Miss America's Teen pageant?
Ooh, I would definitely have to say just the skills that I've been able to learn. Like I said just a second ago, those life skills I've been able to learn throughout competing in dance for I don't even know how many years, since I was 3 years old, has been really, really beneficial as a young woman, as Miss America's teen, and then as a competitive dancer alone. It's just been really beneficial. And then also becoming a small business owner and young entrepreneur, that has helped me a lot too.
And then your journey to the Miss America organization, probably looks different than some of your fellow sisters in the organization. What is your advice to someone that thinks that it's maybe too late to start?
I would use myself as an example. I would tell them my story for sure, because I think that mine and Madison's story looks a lot different than other people's. And so I think that it's great that we're able to do this together, because we're just breaking the stereotypes of, I guess, pageantry in general.
Yeah. So, you have this whole year and it's very busy and hectic. You're here in Texas for one day. You're probably gone somewhere for the next. What does a day in the life look like? I'm sure it's no two are the same. But kind of talk us through, if someone's listening has no idea, what does being Miss America feel like? What does the day look like?
Very long if we're on work trips, I would say.
Yeah.
So it might be like early mornings, having to be up early to do your own hair and makeup. Today we got treated and had someone else do our hair and makeup.
Always fun.
That was nice. Very, very nice.
And then maybe for me, I've done stuff like going to big speaking events. And then maybe we'll go do pictures afterwards, go to a basketball game. It's just, you don't really know what you're in for, because they can all be so different. And especially with me wearing the uniform, there are times where it's an Air Force event, which I love to get to do, because I love being able to show people what it looks like in the uniform. And then the next day being in the Miss America outfit, because it really shows the balance I can have in both. So you never know what you're going to get.
And that's something that I really love, how every single day is different. As a still competitive dancer, as a high school student, and as Miss America's teen, every day looks different. And so I actually dually enrolled, and so I'm taking college courses right now as well. So I go to school until actually 9:50 a.m.
Okay.
So I'm only there for a very short amount of time, and then I do my college courses, but those are virtual, and so that I can kind of make those work when I'm on the road as well. But like Madison was saying, I get to go into schools and speak to little kids. I also get to go to meetings and share my story with adults, and be able to give them motivational tips as well on how I've been able to achieve this dream. And so it's every day looks different. And so like Madison said, again, we got treated today, which was so nice, and we're so thankful for that. But yeah, I just love how every day is different.
So you both have talked about getting to go to schools and being around little kids, and what a joy that is as a part of this role that you have. What would be your best piece of advice for your younger self?
I would say that there are going to be parts of life that are going to be very difficult, but there's always going to be something out there that's better. Things always get better, and you always have to rely on the people around you. I think that was something that was super tough for me for a long time. I didn't want to rely on my family and grieving after I lost my mom. I didn't want to rely on people at the Air Force Academy. But then I had realized there is so much value in teamwork and team leadership and being able to rely on those around you, because when you're down, someone else is going to be up, someone that you love and can lean on. And when that time comes that they're down, you can uplift them. And that is just the beautiful part of life. And it is an art form to try to learn when to get that help and when to allow other people to lean on you.
Yeah.
For sure. I would actually have to agree with that. My mom and my dad have always told me that, tomorrow is a new day. Tomorrow is another chance that we get to try again. And so, days aren't always going to go like we planned. Dreams aren't always going to go like we planned. Things aren't always going to work out just as we planned, but the sun is going to rise tomorrow and we get a new chance. And so that's something that I've always remembered, and a great reminder that my mom and dad have always told me.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So Miss America is so much more than a title. It is a movement that's empowering young women everywhere to dream big. So what does it mean to you to be the face of that movement?
Mm. This entire past year, I feel like has really encapsulated all these different parts of my life, like the physics research, the pageants, the military, the pancreatic cancer. And I think being able to combine all of that into one just hopefully shows the women that they can do whatever they set their minds to. And being in the Miss America opportunity also really exemplifies that, and that you can do whatever you want. There's no limit to the amount of passions or jobs that you can have. You're the only person that gets to decide that. And so really being able to pour into your life and pour into your future and the goals that you have.
For sure. I would definitely say it's an honor to be able to be the face of the Miss America opportunity, because it is life-changing. Like we said, it's amazing the amount of young women to adults that the organization is constantly touching day in and day out. And I mean, what better face of America than Madison? Where she's amazing. Pretty, not to be like biased or anything, but yeah, I think that, that's a very honored job that we have. And so we take it very seriously to uplift anybody that we cross paths with, but also to show them that no story is the same, but also to break the stereotypes.
Yeah. Well, and you're getting to do this, all across the country. Where has been your favorite place to visit?
I mean, all of them are so different, but I've loved getting to go home to Colorado. My homecoming was really awesome. The Air Force Academy planned this entire day for 30 plus of my sisters to come out and visit my school. And so getting to have them see what it looked like to be a cadet and bringing a new memory to this home that sometimes had some pretty harsh memories going to a military school. I mean, that was really wonderful. And I love every single time I get to go back there and relax and see the mountains and be with my family. So, yeah.
Okay, the more we talk in this podcast, the more I realize that me and Madison are a lot alike, because, and it's so funny because I have, this mind in my mind what I'm gonna say, and then she says it for me. So I haven't had my homecoming yet, but North Carolina, I'm a homebody, and coming back to North Carolina and just being able to go into my school and talk about the American Heart Association, which is something that's so important in the Miss America opportunity, and share with little kids why heart health is so incredibly important. That's really special to me, and being able to do that at home around, former teachers, and, how proud they are of me for being able to go about this dream that I didn't even have at the age. And so that's been really great. I love going home after every appearance.
Yeah. Well, so at Rebel, we're, just like you, we're proud of our hometown. We're proud that we're designed here in Texas, but we do love to take our designs all across the world, and we do our big couture shoots, and we've gone to places like China, we've gone to the Amalfi Coast, we've gone to Paris. So if you got to plan a Rebel couture shoot, where would you plan it for and why?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, my dream has always been to visit Bora Bora.
Ooh.
I love Bora Bora, and I think that Rebel's designs would look great in Bora Bora.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's always just been something that seems super fun to me. I've always watched like little influencer trips of going to Bora Bora, and it looks so fun and exciting and so much to do.
Okay. I would have to agree with you on that one. I'm trying to think of something a little bit different. But
I've been trying to think of a different answer after every question.
I love tropical for sure. I know you guys have already gone to Amalfi Coast, but maybe one of Switzerland. Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
I'm obsessed with Switzerland. Like somewhere like Lucerne, they have
Mhm.
this beautiful blue lake, the coolest mountains that looks like it's out of a storybook. And I just feel like a lot of the outfits that Rebel makes almost look story-like. And so I feel like they would be
Absolutely.
really cool up in Lucerne's mountains or like all over the country. It's just all beautiful.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
so
Well,
cool.
I'm taking notes. I'm passing it
Yes.
up the chain of command. That's where
Yes,
we're going
please.
next. Well, on that, I've got a couple little rapid fire this or that. So we'll start off with one that I think I'm going to know y'all's answer to based off of this. But do you prefer a beach vacation or a mountain vacation?
Beach.
Beach. Prefer to text or call?
Text.
Call.
There's our first difference. Dream bag or hero bag?
Dream bag.
Dream bag.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Oh, I don't know, both. I've got both. I have a really old kitty that I love, so I would feel bad not
Aw.
saying cats.
Core solids or crystal couture?
Crystal.
Bike shorts or leggings?
Leggings.
Skirts or shorts?
Skirts.
Depends what kind of shorts, but I would have to say skort.
Okay. Perfect. Sneakers or heels?
Sneakers.
It's not so rapid fire anymore, but I don't know. I've learned to just like get along with heels.
Yeah.
But
You're stronger than I am.
I've actually learned to get along with them. But I will have to say sneakers on this one.
Yeah. Movies or TV shows?
Movies.
TV shows. I don't have time for movies normally, so
Instagram or TikTok?
Instagram.
Instagram.
All right. So if anyone is listening and after they've heard all these fun things from y'all, are interested in learning more about the Miss America organization, where can we point them to? Where can they find out more?
So one of the places would be the missamerica.org. That's our website. That's going to have all the information and can kind of direct you to the state that you could compete in. And then you can go find all the directors. And it also goes into a little bit about our competition phases. And then if you're wanting to follow us, Instagram is the best place. We've got at Miss America
And at Miss America's team.
Okay.
yeah.
And then I know for me, my direct messages are always open. I'm always more than happy to help with advice about the organization and just share, of course, even more of my favorite parts because I could talk all day about how much the Miss America opportunity means to me. And so for sure, just our DMs are always open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our personal pages are linked in the bios
Yes.
of both the Instagram pages. So you can find both of our personal pages there. We are open to talk about anything, always.
All right. Well, that's all we have for you. So thank you
Oh,
both
thank
so
you.
much. This has been
It's
so
been so
great. We're so
fun.
happy to have you here in Texas. And of course, Rebel's always happy to be partnered with the Miss America organization.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Thank
having
you.
us.